Hi guys, welcome back to Manifest with Armine. My name is Armine and I'm a law of attraction consultant. Today I'm going to read just a little bit from this little beauty here, The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. And this is a print from 1925. Yeah, 1925. And it's very old, although it's 21 years newer than the last book I received. But it's kind of tough to open it all the way because it seems that whether it's possibly never been opened or just rarely or not in a long time, I'm just handling it carefully. So bear with me, please. I just really love reading excerpts from old books from the original, text, from just the book itself. I think that there's a great energy in that. So there's a little snippet in the front I'd like to read, and then I'll read something from a chapter about casting the burden. It says, "Uniform with this, Your Word is Your Wand" by Florence Scovel Shinn, a sequel to The Game of Life and How to Play It, a book of vital affirmations written by popular demand. Your word is your wand. In it is magic and power. The book gives the right affirmation to use in different situations. For waving the wand of his word, man has power to control conditions. The following affirmation should be repeated daily. And this is just like a little ad in the front of the book for her other book, right? Your Word is Your Wand. And here's the affirmation that it says. And I really wanted to read this because it kind of pertains to a question that I recorded a previous video about today, with the question of how do I give myself permission to act on my desire, or to allow myself to attract desire, and to not feel like a victim, in the sense that if I receive what I want, then something bad is going to happen, to balance that out. Well, here's a quote. Like I said, you should look into Neville and Joseph Murphy and Florence Scovel Shinn too. And here's a quote from her that would really help you in this. It says, "Nothing is too good to be true. Nothing is too wonderful to happen. Nothing is too good to last." And, some people might see this as unrealistic, as kind of sugarcoating things and not putting yourself in a safe place, because people in this world are out to deceive you, will use your naiveness or naivete for their own benefit. And this is actually not at all about being naive. It is not about sugarcoating anything. It is the basic nature of reality. And when you accept these words, then you are not a vibrational match to being deceived, to being taken advantage of. And the only thing that will help you understand that, if you don't yet, is to practice this. You don't have to be protective of yourself to be protected, because that is our natural state. It says, "Nothing is too good to be true." So all those limiting things about, I want this thing, but I don't know if it'll happen for me, or maybe it's too big to ask, maybe it's too far from my belief, my paradigm around this subject. Nothing is too good to be true. If you are suspicious of something, then your suspicion alone will ruin it for you, will sabotage it for you, or will just bring other things in your life that you should be, that will give you reason to be suspicious, because it will be not true. So understand that nothing is too good to be true. Nothing is too wonderful to happen. Nothing is too good to last. There you go. So I'm going to read just a little bit from Chapter 6, which is casting the burden, also known as impressing the subconscious mind. So you see how different teachers just have different words for certain things, but they are really the same thing. Just different ways of approaching it and different perspectives on it. When a man knows his own powers and the workings of his mind, his great desire is to find an easy and quick way to impress the subconscious with good. For simply an intellectual knowledge of the truth will not bring results. In my own case, I found the easiest way is in casting the burden. A metaphysician once explained it in this manner. He said the only thing which gives anything weight in nature is the law of gravitation. And if a boulder could be taken high above the planet, there would be no weight in that boulder. And that is what Jesus Christ meant when he said, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light." He had overcome the world vibration and functioned in the fourth dimensional realm, where there is only perfection, completion, life, and joy. He said, "Come to me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." There you go. Is that not what Abraham says about be easy about it? Become like a child? We are also told in the 55th Psalm to cast thy burden upon the Lord. Many passages in the Bible state that the battle is God's, not man's, and that man is always to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. When things are overwhelming and when you feel heavy burdens in something that you are desiring and you're just really, really noticing the lack of it, that's why I say be light about it. That's why I say be easy about it. That's why I say be playful about it, because until you are light about it, until it seems like something not so big, it will cause you just self-torment, because for the universe, it is easy. It is easy to transform. But in your experience, it will only be as easy as you allow it to be, and that is as easy as you sign it that it is, as easy as you assign that it is. There you go. It says this indicates that the superconscious mind, or the Christ within, is the department which fights man's battle and relieves him of burdens. We see therefore that man violates law if he carries a burden, and a burden is an adverse thought or condition, and this thought or condition has its root in the subconscious. It seems almost impossible to make any headway directing the subconscious from the conscious or reasoning mind, as the reasoning mind, the intellect, is limited in its conceptions and fills with doubts and fears. So who knows about that? We all know about that, right? That's why Neville says, the reasoning mind is only I forgot the exact word to use, but I posted it somewhere on Instagram. The reasoning mind is just it's the distraction. It's the only thing that's blocking the actual truth a lot of times. Don't use the reasoning mind as your first go-to thing, because like Abraham says, align first align, get in the vortex, and then okay. Let's see. So it says how scientific it then is to cast the burden upon the superconscious mind, or the Christ within, where it is made light or dissolved into its native nothingness. There you go. And the example she follows with is, for example, a woman in urgent need of money made the statement, "I cast this burden of lack on the Christ within, and I go free to have plenty." The belief in lack was her burden, and as she cast it upon the Christ within, the superconscious flooded the subconscious with its belief of plenty, and an avalanche of supply was the result. We read, "The Christ in you, the hope of glory." Again, she's quoting from the Bible. She's saying, let's see here. Well, she's referring to Christ, and she's saying, "I cast this burden of lack on the Christ within, and I go free to have plenty." How many of you are readers of Abraham Hicks? Have you read Ask and It Is Given, and have you heard of the game of turning it over to the universal manager. So how do you see how that all ties together? When you cast the burden onto Christ, on just the Christ within, that is the same thing as handing it over to the universal manager and saying, okay, these are the things that I have that I can take care of right now, and all this stuff, this I'm going to hand over to the universal manager. This is for the universe to figure out for me. And you just put it there and you say, this is being taken care of by somebody who is better created to take care of that. That is casting the burden, and it figures itself out, because you now trust that my reasoning mind is not created to solve this situation from where I am right now. So casting the burden, and I'm going to allow myself to assume that it's taken care of. Law of assumption, right? Everything comes together. So that's about it. I just wanted to read that little part for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click like so I know you did, because I enjoy reading this stuff to you guys. I don't plan on doing this too often on my channel, but I will from time to time read from my new books that I have in my possession. That's about it. If you guys liked it, please click like. If you'd like to subscribe and you haven't done yet, so please do. And if you have any comments or questions, if you have any personal experience that came to mind when I was reading those words, I'd love to hear that too. And have a great day, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.